Hey, it's Lacey Broussard, and this is the Multi-Orgasmic Mama podcast. From sex and motherhood, birth and relationships, communication and intimacy building, and Taoism and Tantra, we explore topics such as self-care, self-pleasure, body image, jade eggs, the feminine cycles, creativity in business, and modern spirituality. The Multi-Orgasmic Mama is a place to come for true stories and transformational advice on how to be a mama and a multi-orgasmic woman too. Well, hello there, lovelies. Today we're going to talk about 4 steps to having a full body or energy orgasm. But before I go into that, I want to make a super big announcement. If you were looking for the podcast to appear last week, it did not appear because I was super consumed in creating my new online shop that you can find at themultiorgasmicmama.com/shop. So while Mercury was in retrograde and we were all getting retro fucked, I sent out a short questionnaire asking for your feedback about what you wanted to hear more of, what you were most struggling with, and how you'd like to receive support. And one of the top things that I heard from you was that you wanted to hear and learn more about the jade egg, and in particular, how to use it to support your sexual thriving and your financial thriving. So that's what we're going to be doing, people. We're going to be talking about the jade egg practices. I'm going to be kind of going over what's available in the Jade Egg shop one by one. So what's in there is a couple practice collections of audio guided practices and accompanying PDFs that explain the practices. And one is called the foundation practices, and the other is called the energy practices. And then there's just the Jade Egg practices. And then there's the complete self-study Jade Egg program, which has all 3 of the collections in one for a discounted rate. So I'm going to be going through a couple of the practices and explaining how amazing these are and how doing them can really change your sexuality and how you feel about your sexuality and how you can feel more empowered in your sexuality and how it can change your relationship with your body. I think a lot of times people don't even understand the capacity to feel pleasure that's even available to them. We are only allowing ourselves to experience so much sexually, but there is so much more available, and these practices open the door to what's available that you're not currently experiencing, like full body and energy orgasms. So let's dive into that. So the cool thing about full body and energy orgasms is that they're available to any woman despite your genitals, because it's not about genital stimulation. You don't have to want to be touched. You don't need to actually self-pleasure or have penetration or anything. This is available to anyone. So what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that full body energy orgasms happen when you learn to move your turn on or your sexual energy out of your pelvis and up through your torso throughout your entire body. Energy orgasm is when you reach a state of sexual energy free flow and surrender and turn on, and the energy just starts to move freely throughout the body. How can this happen, and what do you have to do to get there? The first step is that if you have a super hard time getting in touch with your body or really dropping into your body, if you think a lot about what's happening while it's happening during sexual interactions or while you're self-pleasuring, if you have to go off into fantasy land all of the time to reach a goal of orgasm, if you have to be kind of disconnected from your body, the first thing you're going to want to do is to come back inside the body by doing about a 5-minute body meditation. This is a practice where you literally just lie on the bed, or if you're doing this as a self-pleasure practice, maybe you have a yoga mat or something really comfortable and luscious that you want to practice on. And you're just going to speak whatever sensations you're feeling in your body and the location of those sensations. And you're going to keep going like that for 5 minutes. So you might feel not much at the beginning, but probably a little bit more as the 5 minutes goes on. And then step number 2 is that you're going to begin to touch yourself and turn yourself on just enough to activate your sexual energy. So you don't have to do this if you are already feeling a little turned on. But the point is, you need to feel the sexual energy of the turn on inside of you in order to be able to move it. Otherwise, you don't know what you're moving. Like you're trying to move nothing. So touching yourself, turning yourself on to activate your sexual energy, doing whatever you have to do. So you can use the jade egg if you want, but you don't have to. I think that it can help you connect to your body in a way that it might be a little harder to if you don't have anything inside. You can use a glass dildo. You can use your partner's penis, however you want to do it. You can even use your fingers if you want, or you don't have to use anything at all. You can just work with the sexual energy. And then the third step, so this is the really important part, is that you're going to begin breathing with a full, deep, connected breath in and out of the mouth. And you're going to do this while beginning to butterfly your legs open and closed with the pace of your own breath. So on an inhale, you're going to open your legs and feel whatever's inside. And on an exhale, you're going to close your legs and sound whatever you're feeling. So you're going to imagine that if the sensations that you're feeling inside of your body had a voice, if they had a frequency, what would they sound like? And then you're going to sound that on your exhales. So as you're breathing and sounding and expressing, you're allowing yourself to open up into a free flow energy expression. And what's really exquisite here is that there is no objective. There's no goal that you're trying to reach. This is really just about holding space for whatever is ready to come up and move, and just allowing it to move or to be. And if there's nothing coming up and nothing moving, then just allowing that to be. So sometimes it can help though if you squeeze the jade egg, if you have one in, or a glass dildo. You can squeeze the egg on the inhale and release on the exhale to enhance any sensations if you're not feeling really turned on at all, and if it's getting really difficult and you're not really feeling much turn on, you can try that. That might help a little bit. But for some people, the squeezing and releasing while butterflying the legs open and closed can feel a little distracting. So you just have to try it out and see what works for you. Okay, and then the fourth step is to keep feeling and breathing and sounding and dropping deeper and deeper into a state of surrender and energy free flow, and let that energy take you over. So this fourth step is really about just surrendering into the flow of energy. So it's a super sublime state to be in and experience, because it doesn't involve touching or penetration. Like, you're really just working with your own energy body. So if it feels like your sexual energy is getting stuck or trapped and you're not able to move it, a lot of times that I've found with women, this might happen right around the solar plexus, because this is an area where our sexual power will pick up fire and really increase. But for so long, women haven't been able to really own their full sexual power, because our sex has been mostly for men's pleasure. That's what we've been taught, or not so much of our own. Like, we don't have our sexuality for us. It's always for someone else. And for many of us, owning our sexual power just doesn't feel safe. Maybe you have sexual trauma, or maybe you were raised in a really conservative environment where it just wasn't safe. Your parents taught you it's not safe to own your full sexuality. That could get you in trouble, right? And since the solar plexus is where the sexual fire gets lit, and it starts to build and build and build and become like this roaring fire, this is often the place where we unconsciously shut it down and block it. So if this happens during your energy orgasm or full body orgasm practice, just notice where the energy gets stuck and see what comes up for you. It's likely that a lot will come up, and if you want more support working on that, definitely reach out to me with one-on-one coaching. That's what I do with a lot of the women that I have going through my multi-orgasmic bliss jade egg coaching program, is we are working through all of the blockages that are keeping them from experiencing their full sexual potential and everything that they can feel, and their own sexual empowerment. This is a huge key and piece for women these days, is to really reclaim their sexual power. We're starting to do this, and it's awesome, but we've still got a long ways to come. Okay, so with full body energy orgasms, you have to remember that the key is that there are no expectations. Like when we have no expectations, when there's no goal, that's when you can really open up and experience the energy and flow with it, and just not, if there's an expectation, it's like you're trying to tell the energy where to go, and it doesn't work that way. So dropping any expectations, allowing yourself to feel what you feel and express whatever needs to be expressed. It's all about giving yourself the space and time to just feel and let the energy flow. So if this is a practice that sounds super amazing and awesome, and you would like an audio guided experience to do this on your own, you can purchase the foundation practice, Energy Orgasm, in the Jade Egg shop at themultiorgasmicmama.com/shop. And because I love you all so much, I made a super special little coupon code that if you sign up with your name and your email by August 24th at midnight Central Standard Time, and you purchase anything in the shop before that time, the coupon code for 15% off will be sent to your email, and you can buy anything in the shop for 15% off. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. And if you have any other questions about energy or full body orgasms, email them in at Lacey@lacybroussard.com. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.